Back, and I am going through that list of 100 was reasons to come to the door, and it's awesome how many different things that you can come up with. And you really want to be creative when you're working with reasons at the door. It's very, 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 very important to literally construct your reasons directly with stuff that actually can spark your own talent. So you literally spark your own talent. The biggest thing that every single person, I mean, everybody from A to Z, from every single level of the training to people that are famous or not famous, a lot of times, everyone needs a reminder to study and work with activation. Now, activation is the thing that you're really looking for when you're dealing with a reason. You're looking for the ability to find an activation. Now, this activation that you're looking to get is the thing that often people forget to do with emotional preparation. A lot of times, unfortunately, and of course I've done this myself, I'll chase down a feeling instead of looking at the actor's emotions triangle. And there's the thoughts, there's ideas, then you go down thoughts and ideas, and you get the entire thing going with you get past thoughts and ideas, you get into feelings, you get into instincts, then you get into deep feelings. And then beneath deep feelings, there's emotions, and there's even deep emotions. And the further down you go, the more patient you are with yourself, the better you'll be able to equip yourself to be able to do acting. Now, it does not make any difference to the creative process if you are getting an activation for a great reason at the door from fiction or from something that's real. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. You could absolutely sit and imagine something about somebody that you know, but it stimulates you, it activates something. And all of a sudden, that imaginary daydream is an ingredient there that you can use for your acting. So you want to absolutely explore these things, not so that you can drive yourself crazy in different ways, but the reason is because you want to be able to explore a wide range of activations. You want to be able to use the activations. Now, look, I have this emotions list. This emotions list is over 900 emotions. Now, I have seen over 30,000 acting exercises over. And the thing is that the reality to all of this work that I've studied and sometimes taught, the reality is that I would study all kinds of stuff. The reality to all of this stuff is you want to be able to expand your range of emotion. Now, the reason why I mentioned how much stuff I've watched is because I've seen so much work, and I've seen probably the top 5 emotions that people work with. And the majority of the work is actually only with maybe 5 to 8 emotions in everyone across the board. So I made that emotions list, and I'm still working some things out because I want to be sure that I have some sort of impact on you in a positive way that can expand your emotional range. So this is the reason why I'm doing this reasons list. So it's to be able to find different activations. Now, you could find activations, again, that are actually real life examples of yourself in your work. You can absolutely do that. Or you can work with imaginary daydreams or imaginary circumstances or imaginary conditions where you put yourself in a situation and you can dream up that activated element. And the thing is you'll feel it actually activate. It will turn over. It won't just be getting an emotional ball range or emotional range. You'll be actually activating that emotion. Well, something will trigger in you. And all of a sudden, there'll be this little thing of more awake with that emotional current. And that is the skill of talent in acting, being able to activate your emotion. Okay, so let me take a very quick break here, and we'll get things started. And this is exciting. We are working hard to be able to get good, active reasons for you at the door. Hi, I'm inviting you to actually join me live on the internet. And if you would, you can bring your own emotional preparation. We can work on emotion. Oh, I'm sorry, I stopped it. Hi, I'm inviting you to actually join me live on the internet. And if you would, you can bring your own emotional preparation. We can work on emotional preparation together, and we can really hone down and help build out that talent within inside of you. Now, even if all it is you want to just bring an emotional preparation, do a spoon river, I don't mind. Come, join us, and absolutely practice the talent of your own acting. Okay, so listen, this industry is fascinating. There's all sorts of reasons why people get cast, and there's good and there's bad, and it's mixed up. And the reality is that you've got to be able to, if you're going to give yourself a fighting chance to work actually as an actor, as an actual actor in acting, or to learn the craft of acting really well, you want to be able to do stuff with your activated emotions. And this is absolutely key. So we are going to go down the rest of this list. The list was it's 100 reasons to come to the door. And we're going to go down this list, and we're going to discuss some of these things and how they might be able to activate you. There is a part 1 of this in the description box, which I should put out here so you've got it. Part 1. Okay, and we are back with everything. So let's go back to this and let's get going. So we are going to go the opposite direction. There is a wonderful program that's also in the description box that is to be able to help you get monetized on YouTube. And that's a good thing also to consider, and be able to really start your acting. Now, a lot of people hold back. Let me talk about that quickly. It's a lot of people hold back about this whole thing about putting themselves out there. But the reality is that you want to be able to achieve the progression, the actual progression of your talent in acting. You want to be able to get your progression of your acting journey actually on footage here and there, so you can, one, study your own footage, and you can actually learn, can you tell if when you go and work a whole bunch of exercises that you've become more emotionally vulnerable, or you've been able to make changes where you have more accessibility with your emotional life, or you're more spontaneous. All of these things make a huge difference. Huge difference. So we'll go through these. Acting is interaction. That is absolutely key. That is an absolutely key. And it is incredibly important. Activation of emotion is key. And we are going through this very quickly. And now we are at the list. Now, we are looking at reasons to be able to find ourselves active in the work. So we want to be able to activate reasons that are not just logical. We are not looking for logical reasons to come to the door, although that's a part of the exercise. We want to be able to achieve emotional reasons. We want to get that thing just triggered little bit. Now, it might be that you're just triggering an intrigue. Maybe you've got some script that you've come across, and you're some sort of detective, and you've got to go and ask some questions, and you've got to be able to figure that out. And you do a whole bunch of doors and activities and ins and outs, Meisner, East Coast, West Coast, whatever it is. And you want to be able to go and work with this so that you're able to get more work, and you're able to practice that whole thing. Because when you go into that audition, you've got to be able to develop that intrigue. Now, that intrigue is incredible for your acting. So now, these are not in any particular order because I uploaded them all wrong. I'm getting a lot of things figured out on how to be able to do all the technical. Okay, so 76, reason number 76 is to get an engagement ring. Now, I have never seen this in over 30,000 acting exercises. where anybody has come to the door asking to get their or to give their engagement ring back. Now, what a shame it is. All of us can think to ourselves, why have we not done that door? Why have we not come to the door with a reason to be able to give back an engagement ring or a promise ring? Maybe you don't have a wedding ring that you can physically take to class or take into your acting exercises or take to the studio with you. Maybe you've got a promise ring that you can use to be able to give the ring back. Now, you want to activate something for your reason. So what does that mean? Are you giving an engagement ring to the person in part of your setup for the acting exercise? Is it for a friend? Is it, are you returning the engagement ring for a friend? Are you doing that for the bride? What's the circumstance? And there's all kinds of great reasons. And there's all kinds of great films you can make with that one single concept of returning the engagement ring. You can make a commercial with returning an engagement ring, and it would be fabulous if you did it right. So, and this is the reason why you want to use this as acting practice in acting exercises. All right, number 77 is to claim childhood support. You show up to claim your childhood support. That is a very intricate situation, and you want to be able to find that reason for yourself to be able to do acting. And if you find that reason and you've got that reason, you want to do a little bit of research on that. Probably you want to decide who it is. Is it imaginary circumstances? Is it coming off of a real life, real time circumstance? When I say real time, I mean, is it something that you recollect to be able to re-spark in you? Is there situations that you can go to be able to work with that could also benefit that? There's a whole bunch of different things that you could add to that one sentence to claim childhood support. And is there, I don't know, you could add something like there's an artificial insemination situation and you've got to come and try and ask the real father and they don't know yet. And that would be a situation where you could come to ask for childhood support or other situations like that. There's plethora on just that one statement, number 77. Now, 78 is to claim ownership of adoption. And that's a good reason. It's interesting. Now, are these, now most people, when they think of adoption, they think of blood relatives that they're coming to be able to adopt or not adopt. But it could be that you see, it could be just a legal adoption where there's somebody that is in a situation that you want to be able to get out of that situation, or you want to help them get some sort of emancipation, and that emancipation is going to be able to help them get on with their life. And that would be another good reason for the door. Okay, 79 is to find the truth about what happened. Now, if you're going to come to the door for a reason to come to the door, you want to craft this, obviously, at the level of work that you're at. So a reason to find the truth about what happened. It's a good enough reason to work with. You want to be able to find why, exactly what are the specifics. You have relationships, circumstances that you can add to that. Or maybe you're just trying to look at a specific look at, what is that actual truth that you're trying to be able to uncover. And maybe you want to be able to find a confession. Maybe you want to be able to find something like that. Okay, reasons at the door. And by the way, thanks for joining me. And this is a delayed thing, so we're just working on this. All right, reasons at the door. Item number 67 is picking up a book so you can do research. Now, there are a lot of different books that you could brainstorm that are not exactly easy to get to, or maybe there's only a limited supply and you want to be able to get a specific book. And you want to really craft that reason for yourself. You really want to absolutely find and craft that reason. Why is it that you're looking for that specific book? Is it a specific piece of evidence that you're looking for to be able to prove something just to yourself? It could just be something that you're trying to prove to yourself. There's a bit of research that you just had an inclination about, and you just want to find something, and you want to just maybe, but is it a deep enough reason? So you're not just working with a feeling. You're just not working with your instincts. You're working with depth. You're working with depth. And you of course, add your emotional preparations to these. 68 is borrow a sewing machine. You might need to borrow a sewing machine. Now, this could be a sewing machine that you need to be able to use. Could be a handheld sewing machine like we have in the acting store and the the acting store has a couple different sewing machine options. And you could be looking for a specific film prop. Now, a specific film prop for sewing, you might need a certain grommet tool. That would be something that would be involved in sewing. You might need, oh gosh, you could need all sorts of things that are having to do with the topic of sewing. You might need a specific pattern that you need to be able to get with that sewing machine. And so that is something that you'd want to be able to achieve. And you can definitely come to ask for those reasons. And these reasons can be complicated, or they can have a lot of emotional weight, or you can have them very light. And that's incredible that you do that. Now, a lot of people don't have it. Number 69 is borrow tools for leather engraving. Borrowing the tools for leather engraving. So, we could, there is different types of tools. There's tools to brand leather, like there's a specific brand that you might need to put in a hide of leather. You might need to do something to delint leather. You might need to create suede from leather. There might be a situation where you're trying to engrave with an engraver on leather, or maybe you're just trying to literally use, you might even, it depends on the leather. If the leather is a little bit rough, you could maybe try and do a few different ways to be able to engrave. It might even include getting some tweezers and literally just plucking out some of the hide to be able to make a design. Any of those reasons are good reasons to come to the door. If you actually can get and activate that tool for yourself where you really actually feel the need and desire to get it. So you really want to activate that thing and get it. Now, there's an independence activities list, of course, which is incredible because it's over 900 independent activities. And 900 independent activities would be, it's literally like 3-4 plus years of work. You could work with that for your entire acting career. It's an incredible tool. So, and it's only growing, and it's only growing. So use that as well. Leather engraving is on that list. Now, borrowing silver thread for a costume completion. Now, silver thread is an incredible one. Sometimes you can get silver thread. You'd have to look for the type of silver thread. You might need to get tiger striped silver thread or gold and silver thread that's mixed. You might need to get specific thread. And sometimes that could be something that's specific enough that you don't have time for whatever reason to wait a few days for the order to come in or however the situation is. All right, number 71 is to get tools to do tin dotting craft art. So there is all types of things that you can do with crafts in acting and to use those as independent activities. And you can get these little things that you can dot the tin. And if you use that as a reason, adding your emotion and all the other things with it, and that's the reason of the object that you're coming to get from the door, that's a great one. You basically spot the tin to be able to make whatever graphic it is. Okay, I'm going backwards. Here we go. Now we're not going in order because I messed up the load. But anyway, so number 51 is returning a spoiled or ruined borrowed costume. That's a great independent activity by itself, but it's also a great reason to come to the door. That you've got to return this spoiled, costume, and it could be a costume that you went to an event with. You could backstory the whole thing out. It's a really good reason. All right, number 52 is to learn and ask about a rumor. Now, there are definitely scripts there are definitely good scripts where the only activity that you have as the actor is to find out the gossip. And it's not, maybe it's more of an advanced level normally, but it is definitely something that you could do. All right, so 53 is to borrow a painting. Now, everybody treasures paintings, usually, most people do, or a special lithograph print, or something that has some sort of historic value, or some sort of sentimental value. So you want to borrow a painting, and that would be a great reason to come to the door and add a backstory to that. Now, to get an inheritance is number 54. Now, 54, you want to be able to get an inheritance. Then you want to be able to try and do something to really get that, build up that circumstance before class. Do something that makes that real to you. Now, you probably need a signature of a lawyer, or you might actually need that person to promise to you that you need to be able to go and actually go to the lawyer's office to get the inheritance. And that might be part of the setup that you do for your reason at the door, which is viable. It is definitely a good one. Okay. 57. Oh man, you're going to ask for a female hygiene product. It is a definite one, but I think I've heard that actually in classes. It was kind of shocked me when I saw it, but that's fine. It was one that was there. So 58 is to ask for a roll of toilet paper. Kind of funny. 59 is to get 2 cups of flour and baking soda. Now, if you're going to come to your neighbor's house or your acting partner's house and ask for 2 cups of flour and baking soda, I would suggest highly you know exactly what the recipe is for. It's going to help you to believe it. It's going to help you build it out a little bit. So definitely go with that. Number 60 is wax for car waxing. Now, there is this whole thing, wax on, wax off, with waxing for cars, car wax. There's some very, very specialty car waxes. If you ever go and do some research on that, it is actually quite incredible, all the different varieties of waxes there are for vehicles and different types of vehicles. So that is a definite one that you might not have yourself, but you might know that the person has it. So that's a reason to come to the door. All right, so number 61, furniture wax paste for waxing furniture. Same thing. There's all kinds of them. So that's another good one. And feel free to write these down, and I will have a list on the website. Actually, there is one already that you can go down this list. Okay. 72 is borrowing food coloring. That is an interesting one. You might need to make a very specific color. Maybe you're making a cake for a celebration from a sports league event that you've just had somebody that you knew is won the sports league event, and you want to make a cake with a certain type of icing, and you can't get the specific food coloring. That would be a good idea. There's all sorts of ones you can make with that. 73 is to fix a flat can. Now, there are these cans you can go to the store and buy, and they are called Fix-A-Flat. And if you ever have a flat tire, you just go to your trunk and you put that into the tire, and hopefully it's enough to get you 15 miles or 20 miles back to wherever you need to get your tire changed. And if you had the wherewithal, if you really felt like really getting into this reason for the door, you could literally construct an entire background story where you literally had a flat tire by your acting classmates house, and you knew that they had a Fix-A-Flat, and you came right to them to ask for their Fix-A-Flat, and that would be a fine reason to be able to do. All right, 74 is to borrow a unicycle and juggling equipment. Now, look, that's good because not a lot of us have unicycles. Not a lot of people have juggling equipment, so that's a very good, viable reason to be able to do it. Now, you want to be able to find those reasons to be able to work with. And of course, work with these unicycles and see if you can, another one that's a great thing that I got to be able to add to that list is add building a unicycle. They are apparently pretty difficult to build, of course. And thanks for showing up and everything and make comments, of course. To borrow a unicycle in juggling equipment. Now, number 75 is a good one. Very, very, very good one. It is to pick up a bridal dress. Now, is this bridal dress something that you're going to be picking up before the wedding? Is that the reason where you're coming to the door to pick up the bridal dress before the wedding? Or is this something that you're maybe bringing the bridal dress back after the wedding? Good question, right? This is a good question. Now, here's the other thing. Now, we're looking at acting circumstances, right? We're looking at the ability to be able to craft reasons at the door that are going to activate our emotions, right? We're activating our emotions. Maybe you're returning a bridal dress after not showing up to the wedding. Have you ever thought about that? Now, I've seen over 30,000, way over 30,000 acting exercises. I have never seen anybody do that one. And I wish you would, and I wish you would do it in classes, and I wish you would then come on here and tell me how it went for you. That would be fun. I would love to hear about it. I think that's fun. That is a very, 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 very good reason to be able to come to the door where you know that maybe the groom and their family bought all of the wedding dress and you are just on your own, showing up at the door, unexpected, to return the wedding dress to the groom. And now that is something that is that's amazing. That dressed to the groom. I'm making notes as I work. Now, what else do we got? We have, that's a very, very creative idea. Okay, what are we working on here now? Oh, yeah. So we have, again, this list is not in order because there's so much work. There's so many materials. 43 is to pick up a map looking for a missing person. Now, this is a tough one because if you're in a situation where you're not in a place where you've done like 2 to 3 years of acting work, it might mess up your work to come to the door with an urgency, right? Because that's usually only done when you work with urgencies. You usually only work with, it's an advanced thing. It's an advanced thing. Although if you're on a film set, it happens in a lot of different scenes. So it really depends on your teacher of whether or not you're able to come to the door with an urgency. So the key to this is you want to pick up a map to look for a missing person. But here's the issue. Can you really do that without an urgency? Or can you make the urgency reasonable so that you know, like you've got, like you're going to leave on a trip in the next day and you're coming over to your classmates or your friend's house or your whatever your relationship is in the exercise, and you're coming over to pick up the map to look for the missing person, right? And you want to be able to then have the luxury of time to be able to if they don't answer the door, go into complete panic, unless that's the scene, of course. So 44, reason number 44 is to get the money that is owed to you with, so you could definitely check with your teacher to see, because there's some schools of thought don't want you to check with, some teachers don't want, it depends. I've seen, I think it's over 80 teachers or something, training and teaching, all that. It might be more. I think it might be more. Who knows? But the reality is that some teachers want you to be able to come for items that belong to you, and some teachers don't want you to come to the door for a reason of the door for items that belong to you. So just be mindful of that. And obviously, learn within the learning environment that you're within. So you're cooperating with that learning environment and it can grow for you. All right, number 45 is to get the paint. Get the paint needed to paint your car a specific color. Now, this is an actual thing. Getting specific paint color is an actual thing. Sometimes it's very difficult to get specific colors. Now, if you say you have a friend and you need to be able to get from your friend or from whatever relationship you set up, you want to match their car with your car, right? Then you've given yourself a greater reason. You've expanded that reason of how to be able to get paint needed to paint the car specific color. Now, it's a good one. It's a good one, but you've got to craft that one a little bit. Now, getting an instructions manual. Now, you could get an instructions manual for all types of reasons. You could there's all kinds, but the one that's on this list is that you need an instructions manual or an old computer disk, right? Let's say you've got some Bitcoin on a computer and you need to have the computer drive to be able to get the whole thing running, and you don't know which computer it's on. You think you do, and you got one of these disks. You got to get one of these disks, and you couldn't find it on wherever, and you know that your friend's got one. That might be a good reason, but you've crafted it so that you've got it so that it works for you. Okay, let's see. Okay, this one is number 39. It is to borrow a uniform for a job. Now, there is maybe specifics that you're going to have to add to this, because you want to be able to get a uniform for a job. Then you've got to be able to find a good reason. One, why you need the job. Two, why is that specific uniform good? Maybe your friend or your classmate helped you get a job that you needed at a certain location, right? Certain restaurant, certain bar, they have a certain uniform. You can't get that uniform anywhere else. Then that's a good reason. It's a good reason you're getting a uniform for a job. Maybe you have a job doing a photo shoot, and you need to get go over to your pal's house and get Army cadet uniform. And that cadet uniform is something that you need for that photo shoot. So then that's a job that you need to get the uniform for. And it could be a lot of different ones there. It could be a fast food job that you're required to do shift work at, and you need to be able to get certain hat for a certain promotion. You know, these are great ideas to be able to work with whatever it is. Add your emotional preparation, of course, and work with you wherever you are in the work. Okay, now to get sports leagues tickets. Now, sports leagues tickets is an interesting one. You know, sometimes you might have somebody that has box office seats, and you need to get tickets so that you have a specific place to watch the show or to get into a specific place, however it is. 41 is reasons at the door is to learn how to get and do a dance routine. Now, stay tuned with me because I got some more coming on that stuff, and that's going to be exciting. Okay, now 42 is to pick up a map of coordinates for GPS for a search hunt. Now, I don't know if you know this, but basically there is this thing called GPS hunting. You know, you go on a GPS search hunt, and it's a game that people do for recreation. You want to get to a certain place, and sometimes you find the coordinates on top of a 200-foot mountain, or you find that the coordinates in a valley somewhere, and you got to try and get to that location. And you need to be able to go pick up those locations. You got to get that GPS location. That's a great reason. It's fun. It's a fun one. Okay, what's this? Okay, now we are going into some of these reasons that I actually already have. So let me cover this a different way. I think this is it for the day, which is fine. But we are definitely working these lists and getting this stuff done. And I know the replay, you can ask me questions. You can feel free, add things that you like to do. Why not? Now, the one thing I do want to say is it's important not to play a reason. Now, playing a reason would be trying to pontificate it. And the pontification is actually a part of a stylistic of acting that can actually work for the actor if they do it with, it's called stylistic acting. But when you go into do the realism of acting and you work with realistic acting, you want to be able to try and usually get rid of yourself so you're just in the realism. And that would be one way that you want to be able to achieve that, is to watch to make sure that you're not performing that you need something. Try and get that real need, that real thing connected in you. Get that thing active, turn it in, let it go in, let it work. So you've got that reason that it's actually active in you. And sometimes you can use these things. So you've got, like, say, for instance, we've got, let's use this example. Number 35 is an example of getting an evening dress for a ballroom dance. Okay. Now, you could use that as the basic reason, right? You've got the basic reason, and you've sourced out some sort of dress that you could take to a ballroom that you could be able to have, and you've been able to figure that out, or you've done some research to study, spend some time imagining what it would be like to be through those things, or you go to a couple ballroom dances or take some classes in ballroom dancing, and you're able to start getting the knowledge that you need as an actor to be able to do that. So then you get to this situation, and you get this situation working for yourself where you've got this evening dress, right? And you've got all those details sorted out, and you've got this stuff worked out on yourself, and it's a list of stuff, and it's logically all there. Then what you want to do is you want to take your emotions. Take the emotions list. It's in the acting store. There's a few of them on the website. So feel free, use the emotions list. Work and find an emotion that's current in you. Something that's current, something that you can actually activate. And you find that current emotions list, and you get to that thing, and you work with that. Now, you work with that to add an emotional preparation to the reason why you want to get that evening dress. Now, maybe this is a very, very, very specific evening dress. Let's say that their grandmother wore it for the Oscars, 1960 or maybe 1772 or something, right? Or 1980, maybe 1976 or something. So you're working with this, and you're dealing with this whole thing, and you've got this background story, and then you add your active emotion to that. So, and maybe there's a specific bow that you like to be able, and you're going to get a promise to dance with. And this is something that then you've enticed yourself. You've given yourself that extra spark. And maybe you set up this incredible, incredible circumstance in your acting work where you've set this up for yourself, and you told a couple little details to your acting partner, and then they set up that they don't want to give you the dress because they want to go to the dance themselves and dance with the bow that you want to dance with. And maybe that's the exercise that you're doing that's going to work towards a scene that matches a similar circumstance. And this is how you work with these reasons at the door. This is what professionals do. This is what real actors work with. This is how you workshop ideas. This is how you work with emotional preparation to add that extra spark. So you want to be able to do that and really be able to help yourself to be able to do acting and be able to, find your talent. Your talent lies in your ability to activate your own emotions. There's no other way around it. Your emotions are key in acting, like water is key to fluid. I mean, it's just so simple. It's so simple. You've got to be able to work with emotion. And when you activate your emotion, the trick with working with emotions is you activate your emotion. You've got active emotion, right? So you want to go and dance with that bow at the ballroom, and you've got that stirred up, and you've got the reason, you've got the daydreaming, and you've got that thing active in you. And then you turn around and you work with that, and you let that go, and you've got that reason active in you. And you also receive your acting partner So you're actually listening to them, even though you've got that very, very strong, very, very good emotional reason. Okay, listen, let me just take a quick break here, and then we are going to end. Hi, I'm inviting you to actually join me live on the internet. And if you would, you can bring your own emotional preparation. We can work on emotional preparation together, and we can really hone down and help build out that talent within inside of you. Now, even if all it is you want to just bring an emotional preparation, do a spoon river, I don't mind. Come, join us, and absolutely practice the talent of your own acting. Okay, thanks very much. And I want to say thank you for being here. And I want to say thank you for your comments. And there are comments that come in here and there. They come in, and I appreciate them. And I want to say that this is another opportunity to take a look at that course I mentioned, and then we can work from there. And that's a good one that you can do to be able to help yourself earn money on YouTube. Okay, so listen, thanks a lot. And I want to say thank you, and join me for